So what Taitri Upanishad has given something very powerful as far as yoga is concerned. Taitri Upanishad has got three sections. One first section is about the guidelines, about the knowledge, about the behavior, about the parents, about the truthfulness, about donation, about respect, how one should behave, live, practice in human life. This is number one. First section we call Valli. Second, in that they are talking about Brahmananda Valli. In Sanskrit, Brahmananda, Brahma Ananda, two words are there. Brahma Ananda. When you add these two words, we call Brahmananda in Sanskrit. That means the bliss is Brahma or Brahma is bliss, either. Ananda. Now, Anand has been translated as bliss. We had been talking a lot about the bliss Ananda, that this is the only word in Sanskrit dictionary which does not have the opposite word. And that Ananda is our fifth body. That is what is very clear. So in Brahmananda Valli, the section, they are talking about the five koshas. Then the last is Bhragu Valli, which is talking about the essence of Brahma Vidya, the essence of Brahma knowledge. Knowledge, Brahma Vidam Proti Param. That is what is the way. What are the signs or the symptoms or the definition of Brahma? So there is a Nirguna Brahma, how one can realize it, how it goes on. So through these five bodies one can travel and one can realize the Brahma. So this is today we are going to talk about second section of Taitri Upanishad, Brahma Ananda Valli. In that they said that the Ishvara is in our heart, in the center of heart, and in this body there are five koshas. It is not just some one single shell. These are the five layers, five koshas, five sections, five levels. But normally in Sanskrit we call kosha. Sometime in English we translate in body, five bodies. And most important of each kosha has got some importance. So what is that importance? The ultimate importance of Anandamay Kosh is given in this section. So we will be talking about that. And then in the first section, what is called in Sanskrit, Prathama Anuvaka. Vaka means speaking. Anuvak means the small saying. Not the large saying, not the large speech, but very brief, concise, precise formula language. So Pratham Anuvak is having one thing very powerful. It starts with the daily prayer in yoga, what you all guys are doing in, because you are yoga teachers, you know which prayer you call every time. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu. So that definition, that prayer is there in the first Anuvak of this Brahmananda Valli. And then something very interesting it is talking about Om Brahma Vidano Prati Parama Tadesha Abhyukta. Then what is that Brahma? The definition is very purely given. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So you can repeat this. But what is that? Satya. The Brahma is Satya. Brahma is Jnana. Brahma is Ananta. Ananta means infinite. It has no end. Any number you say will be limited, but the number, it is beyond numbers, beyond the counting. One cannot count. Infinite. So the three powerful words are defining Brahma in this first Valli, first section, first Anuvak, Brahmananda. Second Valli is Brahmananda Valli, and in that Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Everybody say, you can put on your mic.
Satyam Jnana Anantam Brahma.
Satyam
Satyam
Jnanam
Ananta
Brahma.
Now let us try to listen in a more rhythmic way. If we realize this one formula, we are opening the gateways towards Brahma. We are ready to accept and understand Brahma in a better and bigger way. That is such a beautiful way. So let us see how it goes.
Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma.
Everybody say.
Satyam
Jnana
Jnanantam Brahma.
Again, listen carefully. Listen.
Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma. Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma.
Very good. Now what you do, now you close your eyes and listen it very carefully for 2 minutes. This will be taking you into meditative state of connecting yourself with the Brahma. Relax your whole body, relax your mind, relax your brain, relax your entire system, and let us try to get connected. Ready? Relax your eyes and brain, body.
Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma. 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 Satyam Brahma. Jnanam Brahma. Anantam Brahma. Anantam Brahma. Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma. Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma. Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma. Satyam Brahma. Jnanam Brahma. Anantam Brahma. Anantam Brahma. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma.
It is so deep and profound inside. You be there, eyes remain closed. And I'm going to replay it. This time you can have your body also swinging, moving. Another 2 minutes deep. Your presence will take you to the Brahma. Your surrender will take you to the Brahma. Total surrender, and it will start moving you deep into your own presence.
Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma. 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 Satyam Brahma. Jnanam Brahma. Anantam Brahma. Anantam Brahma. सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्मा सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्मा सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्मा सत्यं ब्रह्मा ज्ञानं ब्रह्मा अनन्तं ब्रह्मा अनन्तं ब्रह्मा सत्यं ज्ञानम् अनन्तं ब्रह्मा.
Very good. Such a beautiful connection. Eyes remain closed. For a few moments, just observe the truthfulness, ultimate truthfulness, the higher truth, the supreme truth is Satyam. The knowledge, the supreme knowledge, Jnanam, Anantam, the infinite, which is formless. Infinite is never with any form. Nirankar, Nirakar. In Sanskrit, it is formless, infinite, Ananta. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. That is what, with the help of this powerful shloka, you realize, or you are able to realize, or you are opening the ways to realize the Brahma. That is so blissful, so divine connection to realize the supreme Brahma within you, within your heart, within your being. So that is all deep within. So we'll be repeating again. So just be more and more present to listen and to realize this powerful, very
सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्मा 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 सत्यं ब्रह्मा सत्यं ब्रह्मा ज्ञानं ब्रह्मा अनन्तं ब्रह्मा अनन्तं ब्रह्मा सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्मा सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्मा सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्मा सत्यं ब्रह्मा ज्ञानं ब्रह्मा अनन्तं ब्रह्मा अनन्तं ब्रह्मा सत्यं ज्ञानम् अनन्तं ब्रह्मा.
very profound connectivity with the Param Satya, the Supreme Truth, the profound connectivity with the Supreme Knowledge, Jnanam. You just witness yourself as Ananta. We are not confined to only this physical body or just the mind. It is beyond. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Satyam Brahma. Jnanam Brahma. Anantam Brahma. Such a deep and profound connection With the Brahma, the powerful Brahma is beyond words, beyond mind. So that is the supreme truth, eternal truth, infinite, Ananta, and that can be witnessed when we are just going beyond the mind. Witness that happening. The sweet, blissful flow, allow it to happen. That is the great flow which takes you beyond your physical body, that takes you beyond your prana, that takes you beyond your mind, that takes you beyond your Vijnanamaya Kosha, that takes you Anandam, Brahmanandam, Paramasukadam, the supreme bliss is the Brahma, which is within all of us. Only one need to realize by slowly realizing, going deep within, not to travel outside. Mind takes us to the outside. The moment we drop the mind, inner journey starts. The journey towards the Brahma takes up. So let it happen. Whatever is happening, just witness. Go more deep, more profound, more realize. Go deep and deeper. It is happening. It is happening. Let it happen. Let it happen. Let it happen.
Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma.
Let it happen.
Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma. 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 Satyam Brahma. Jnanam Brahma. Anantam Brahma. Anantam Brahma. Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma. Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma. Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma. Satyam Brahma. Jnanam Brahma. Anantam Brahma. Anantam Brahma. Satyam Jnana Anantam Brahma.
Very profound and deep. It is a deeper connection to the Brahma. Automatically, the path is opening. Gateways of Brahma is there welcoming you, because that is Satyam Brahma, Jnanam Brahma, Anantam Brahma. When you surrender, you get connected. When you are full of trust, you get connected. When you are totally present, you get connected. When you are being totally present, you get connected. Very simple flow of your connection starts happening. Let it happen. No efforts, no choice. Let it happen and witness the happening. See the beauty of divine connection. See the beauty of divine connectivity. It is the blissful connectivity. It is the divine connectivity. Allow it. When you are having no turbulence from the mind, it starts flowing towards the Brahma. It takes you towards the infinite. It takes you towards the Satyam. It takes you towards Jnanam. It takes you towards Anantam. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Satyam Brahma. Jnanam Brahma. Anantam Brahma. You can experience that. You can realize that this is not a simple bunch of few words. This is the ultimate formula to get connected to the Brahma. One of the powerful path opening for you to get connected. Such a beautiful journey, blissful journey. And now slowly, slowly, with the grace, with gratitude, we'll be chanting the sound of divine consciousness, Brahma. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Witness the divine Shanti within you, inside you. Full of gratefulness, full of thankfulness. Very gently bring your both the palms together in Namaste Mudra near your heart. Again express your gratitude to the higher, to the Ishvara, to the Brahma, the Supreme Brahma. Express your thankfulness. Bahut acha. Full gratitude. And slowly, slowly, humbly start rubbing your palms and bring your palms on your face. Very good. Total surrender. And the moment you keep your both the palms on your face, you realize something more profound, more deep, extraordinary connection within yourself. Even if you get the glimpses of Brahma, this life is liberated. You are liberated. Beautiful liberation. Very good. Continue. Constant observation and liberation. Bahut acha. Very nice. And slowly, slowly now, rub your face with your palms and very gently may please come back. With gratitude, thankfulness, may please open your eyes. I could see that almost all of you are not interested to come back. It is such a beautiful connection because you are on a higher level, not on this mundane level which is having so many dualities. It takes you beyond dualities. That is such a beautiful thing happens. And that is what we are seeking in this human life, to go beyond the duality. That is the realization, that is the bliss within us. Very good. बहुत अच्छा. Now, I will not ask your experience at this stage. By the time we move forward, maybe sometime in between, I'll ask your experience, what it was happening, how Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma has given you these three simple indications of the Brahma. Now, let us come to the first teaching, that who can realize the Brahma. The one who is the knower of Brahma is the realizing power, who is the going towards this path, like the way you have started it. So you will be attaining the Supreme because you have started this path. This is the simple teaching. And what they say, the one who knows Brahma as the truth, knowledge and infinite, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, it is hidden in the cave of heart. Where are these three things? Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. Where are these three hidden? In the cave of heart. This is what they say, that there is a supreme space. And once you are there, the supreme connection with the Brahma starts. That is what it says. Because what they say, Brahma is the omniscient, and then manifested in the space. So how these things started, how this thing started, this creation. So the first there was a Brahma. From Brahma it is omniscient, and from Brahma what happened? Manifested self. Brahma manifested the space, number one. This is now 5 elements coming. How the 5 elements coming into the existence is described in this section, Brahmananda section, Anuvak 1, the subsection 1. So from the Brahma, the first thing self manifested as a space. Then from space, air started. Air evolved. And from air, what evolved? Fire. And from fire, what evolved? Water. And from water, what happened? Earth was there. And from earth, what happened? Plants, herbs. And from the plants, what happened? Food. Food was gifted to us from the plants. And food is the being. That means we all are made up of food. This is now what they say. It has been compared as a bird. Teti in Sanskrit somewhere also is like a bird. So what they say, the made up of this body is made up of the food is the head. The right side is what they say, that the heart is inside of that. And the essence of food is available in this human body. Soul is in the center part, in the center of the bird. That is what is their Atma. And that Atma is further expanded in this body. That is what is saying in a beautiful way. Now we go to the second shloka, which is talking about Annamaya Kosha. So Annamaya Kosha is like this. They have compared the Annamaya Kosha similar to the bird. Here, how they say that all creatures are born out of Anna. Anna means the food. And they all are living, sustaining from the Anna. And then at last, they also dissolve into the Anna. They go back into the food. They are born from the food. Food is sustaining them, and they are dissolving back into the food. That is why among all the elements, food is one of the best element. And then in this body which is full of An, having the prana form Atma. Atma and prana, they are there in this body. Then pran is the head. Right side is the right wing is Vyana. Like the five type of prana you studied in your yoga system. So Vyana is the right wing, Apan is the left wing, and Akash is the center, and the tail is the earth. So this is what is compared Annamaya Kosha, the first kosha what we discuss, talk and understand in yogic science. Then we go to the third subsection, which is talking about the Pranamaya Kosha. Because you all know about the Pranamaya Kosha, so I need not to explain more detail about Pranamaya. But what is explained here, it is given that what is Prana? Prana is the life force, which is described here, which you always try to read and study in various yoga scriptures. But this is described in Taittiriya Upanishad, that Prana is the life force of the body. And these people, Prana, are praying whom? Prana are praying the Brahma. And those Jiva, those people, those human beings, those who are making prayer to the Brahma, they get the longevity, they got the longer life. And this Annamaya body is holding Atma. And the head is Yajurveda. And right wing is Rigveda. Left wing is the Samaveda. And that order of the Supreme Brahma is the center part. And Atharva, mantras of Atharva Veda is the tail. So this is described in the third section about breath and mind. Breath and mind. Breath is the prana. Simple translation is not very accurate. Where normally they say, what is pranayam? They say breathing technique. No. This prana is the life force. It's not just the breathing technique. So here it is described very clearly that this prana is the life force which is keeping this body alive, and it has got the Yajurveda. All the 4 Vedas are in your human body, staying in the Pranamaya Kosha. This is what is beautifully described, which you never understand, that how 4 Vedas are inside our human body. But here in this Taittiriya Upanishad, the Rishi is saying that all 4 Vedas are in your human body, but here they have described that as a bird. That bird is like the small replica of the Brahma, like that. Then we go to the 4th one. Now 4th is talking about the Manomaya Kosha, the mind body, what we call it. And then Brahmananda, the supreme bliss, is experienced where? This is experienced in Manomaya Kosha, but cannot be explained through the speech. Now if I'll be asking you, what was your experience when you were just having this chanting and meditation? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. When these things were going on, you will be having limited words to explain. That is what is said here in this section 4, subsection 4, about the Manomaya Kosha. We feel that this mind is different than Atma. There is a next from Manomaya Kosha is the Vijnanamaya Kosha also. That is, both are different. So in Vijnanamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha is still inside. So in Vijnanamaya body, the head is the trust. Head is the trust. The supreme truth is the right wing, and the worldly truth is the left side, and the yoga is the center part, and that existence part is the tail. And once you know this Manomaya Kosha, you will be free from all the fears. That is what is this shloka says. So such a beautiful thing is said here, that when you are having full surrender and the ultimate truth is within you, in Manomaya Kosha, supreme truth, yoga, and the existence is there. This is what one need to realize in Manomay Kosha. Then we go to the fifth subsection of this Taitri Upanishad. It is saying so beautifully that what is Vijnanamay Kosha? That with the Vijnanamay Kosha, you can go for the sacrificial yajna and increase your productivity. All the demigods will be there. They all make prayer to the fourth kosha. Demigods, they feel it as a Brahma Roop, Vijnanamaya Sharir. The Vijnanamaya Kosha is surrendered. Atma, Brahma Swarupa. So, in Atma, there is a Vijnanamaya Kosha. That is what they say. And then what is the love? Love is the head of a Vijnanamaya body. Amod, Pramod, divine entertainment, right and left are the entertainment. And the bliss is within in the center. And Brahma is the tail, means the base. Tail is the base, Brahma. Once you realize Vijnanamaya Kosha, you are free from all the sins, all the karmas, and you attain the supreme bliss. Now we go to the sixth one. Sixth one is talking about, it started now, about the Anandamaya Kosha. So what is Anandamaya Kosha? As I explained, that once you realize the truth, you will be called Santa when you realize the truth. And Atma is the body of Anandamaya Kosha, Atma. Atma and Paramatma. That is very close to your Anandamaya Kosha. And then it is just still a Kosha. But how one can realize Atma enters into Anandamaya Kosha. So it becomes Anandamaya. So you become Atma Ananda. Here is a beautiful meaning. So what they say, that Anandamaya Kosha is without any form, without any shape, and it is conscious. But when it came into this physical form, it becomes just matter when it comes into physical form. But whatever you are seeing outside is matter, but which is beyond the matter is Parabrahma, Parameshwar. One need to have the experience within, not outside, not separate from you. Here you can understand the one who is experiencing the experience is Brahma. In other words, whatever is visible is not Brahma. The one who is seeing is the Brahma. That is what is said in this section 6. And then the seer is the Anandamaya Kosha. Now in the 7th, one very powerful thing is said, a very powerful sutra or the shloka of Upanishad, Taitri Upanishad, Raso Vai Sah in Sanskrit. That means, what is Brahma? That Brahma is Ananda Swarupa. Jagat, the world is born out of that Ananda Swarupa. The Jagat is Rasa, but that is Ras is Ananda. It can be taste, Ras in simply way we understand the taste or the essence. Here the meaning of Ras means the Ananda. The Jagat is Ananda, and when you are as a Jivatma, Jivatma is separate, feeling separate and not realizing Paramatma, there is sorrow. When Atma, Jivatma, Paramatma, they once realize each other, then there is no sorrow. Till there is a ignorance that Jivatma is not realizing its own true form, Paramatma, there will be suffering and sorrow. So this is the blissful nature of the Brahma is explained in this 7th one. Now we go to the 8th one, which is very interesting, that what is the explanation, description of Ananda. So what they say, that any bliss which is arising out of the desires of the world, is not the real bliss. The bliss, if you really want to have, one must be total balanced person. When you are totally balanced, then only you will realize the worldly bliss. Now here it's a very deep explanation that one bliss, one ananda in this world, at any given one time you experience one ananda in your life. So that ananda is called as a simple ananda, sadharan, plain ananda. Now 100 such bliss of these human beings are equal to one bliss of Gandharva Lok, Manav Gandharva Lok. Gandharva Lok, now this is another level, higher level of human beings. May not be here living on this planet, but other planet they are talking here. So 100 such Ananda here on earth are equals to one bliss of Anand of Manav Gandharva Lok. Then next they say 100 Manav Gandharva Lok Ananda is equal to one Deva Gandharva Lok Ananda. Deva Gandharva Lok is another higher level, another planet, higher loka. So that becomes 10,000 Ananda. So now 10,000 Ananda of Deva Gandharva Lok is equal to one Ananda of Pitra Lok. Pitra Lok means our ancestors, when they leave the body, they go to the different planet. They go to the different level. So it is equal to that. It becomes like, I think, how many million there are, so many zeros are there now started. So like it goes on, what it says that ultimately the Brahma, the Prajapati's 100 Anand are is equal to one Brahma Ananda. That means 18-0. Let me share you this screen. It is a very beautiful presentation to understand. You can count in and tell me what exactly it is this. It is such a beautiful presentation. Can you see this on your screen now? Is it there? How many zeros are there? Can you count how many zeros are there? Huh?
In very fifth point, we can count only, and otherwise it's.
You can see the 10th one. Count the 10th one. How many zeros are here? Count this one. Highlight.
18-0, I think, 18.
18-0. So one after that 18 zeros are there. So that many Anand you will attain is called Brahma Ananda. When you are meditating, you start opening the gateways to have these one to the 18-0. So it runs into trillions and trillions and trillions. But in Sanskrit, it is beyond Shankha, beyond Ananta. So Ananta is one of the word Anta. So that many power is available to you in your bliss. So this is something very interesting coming up. Then we come to the last 9th Anuvak in Sanskrit. Yato vacho nirvantante aprapya manasa saha ananda brahmano vidvano na viveti kushchan neti etam havavana tapati kimaham sadhu na karavam kimaham papam karavamiti saye evam vidvanete atmanam ispranute ube haveshayete atmanam ispranute ya evam veda. Now what is here they are saying, the one who is totally devoted, dedicated, with full of trust will realize the Ananda Brahma, Brahma Ananda. One need through total devotion. Then na wow, you need not to speak, you need not to say, you need not to do anything, you will realize it. and all your papa, all your sins, all your past karmas will be dissolved, and that is what one realize are the called as vidwana. Such vidwan realize the atma. Those the masters will realize this atma, and this is the way we can say that one can really go deep into this Taitri Upanishad, the five koshas explanation. Now, if you have any question, you may ask. Such a beautiful way, I can say. It's so short. I believe that one need to understand more deep by practicing, because these all are powerful words gifted to us by the rishis in this Taitri Upanishad. Any question? Otherwise, you can tell your experience, what was happening. Go ahead. Yes.
I have a question. I'm backtracking a little bit to when we were talking about the koshas again, and it sounded like, and it would make a lot of sense to me if it was like this, when you said that the Manomaya kosha experiences things, but it doesn't translate it, and then the Vignamaya kosha it takes that experience and makes it more powerful by translating it to you and making it bigger.
That's
Did I
correct.
understand?
That's correct. Very true.
Okay, great.
Because mind is memory. Mind itself has practically the processing without much of the logic. Logics are coming from our buddhi or viveka, and more close to the chitta, the chetana. Chetana is more close. Chetana means the consciousness, and consciousness is more close to the Anandamaya kosha as well as Vijnanamaya kosha. So what they say, Vijnanamaya kosha, body is Atma. In Atma, Vijnanamaya kosha is there, or in Atma, Vijnanamaya kosha is there, imbibed with each other. They are closer to each other. So they realize it. That is why we say, when you realize yourself, we call it Atma Ananda. All the scientists, when they are giving any new discovery or invention, they are very close to the consciousness. They are very close to the Supreme Brahma. So something which is not visible, it is coming. It comes into the creation by that existence, Brahma, the Supreme Power, the consciousness. So very good. Hari Om. All right. So anybody would like to? Yes, Archana, you are saying something? Go ahead.
Hari Om Guruji. Guruji, I don't know whether it is question or my curiosity. The Anandamaya kosha, we initially when we were started this process, the meditation and this thing, so nothing we experienced that and at that moment, and the duration of anger or the realization or maybe sadness or anything, I'm talking about the feeling, the bad feelings. I'm talking just before the 10 years ago, the starting journey of this meditation. And now we get connected, sometimes we meet this kind of incidents, and it not takes too much time to from deleting in our process. It not takes too much time. So my question is, as you're saying that Anandamaya kosha is the blissful state, that the counting, the numbers, this Upanishad describes, Taitri Upanishad. So is this that the glimpse we are sitting in the meditation, and then we feel too much. I don't know, I don't have still the word as you're saying, the state of that word, I can't pronounce it, I नहीं है, मेरे पास शब्द नहीं है उसके लिए. तो वो जो स्थिति है, the state of that glimpse, is this called samadhi, and is this a blissful state?
It is, we can say, the glimpses of blissful state. We can say like that. That will be more appropriate to say Anand ki jhalak, like that in Sanskrit.
And when it will be stable like a longer, then we will be able to sit for meditation.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, this was my confusion and question. Thank you.
We go through these small glimpses, and that is the way sadhak or the person who is going in tapa will continue and will start experiencing and establishing within that. And then will realize, once realize, it means he can or she can come back in the world, perform his or her own life duties, worldly duties as a person, ordinary person. And then the person is realized inside, that is the bliss. Then
Okay.
dukkha, then whatever in this ninth subsection, what we were trying to understand, the dukkha part of human being is deleted or depleted once a realization happens. That has a meaning that now you realize that I am the Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi. So dukkha is there. It is not like that the worldly dukkha is removed. Dukkha is there, but you realize that you are Brahma. You will not be like say heavily or imbibed into that. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sad, I'm having a problem. A separation will be very clear. It will be very clearly visible once the realization happens. The jnani, the word jnani is there for that.
Okay.
All right.
It just, it just like he will see all these things.
Yes. It's
Like
very
a पतंजलि योग सूत्र, हम उसको देखते जा रहे हैं और वो जाता चला जा रहा है. हम उसके पार्ट भी बन रहे हैं, रो भी रहे हैं, हंस भी रहे हैं, पर वो जाता चला जा रहा है.
Very good. Chalo. Today is a very good the weekend for you and the beginning of the new year. Enjoy your new year every moment. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om,
Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om Guruji.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om Guruji.
Hari Om.